Good morning, Cornerstone. Happy Monday. For today's Inspirational Vitamin, we're going to read over in Luke chapter 14. But before I do, got a question. Don't you hate when you just hear somebody giving an excuse? I think we all really do, right? Whether that's our kids giving excuses as to why they didn't do what we asked them to do or their homework, or our spouse giving us excuses about something that, they didn't get done and the excuse why they didn't on our jobs, right? When someone did not finish a project or whatnot, and then they just have excuses, right? That's irking for a lot of us. It's interesting because I think spiritually, the same thing can happen, and Jesus actually tells a story about some folks who were giving excuses when invited to come follow him. Actually, when invited to come sit at the king's table, essentially, they had better things to do. Let's read over in Luke chapter 14 and starting in verse 15. It says, when one of those who reclined at the table with him heard these things, he said to him, "Blessed is the one who will eat bread in the kingdom of God." Then he told him, a man was giving a large banquet and invited many. At the time of the banquet, he sent his servant to tell those who were invited, "Come, because everything is now ready." But without exception, they all began to make excuses. The first one said to him, "I have bought a field, and I must go out and see it. I ask you to excuse me." Another said, "I bought 5 yoke of oxen, and I'm going to try them out. I ask you to excuse me." Another said, "I just got married, and therefore I'm unable to come." So the servant came back and reported these things to his master. Then, in anger, the master of the house told his servant, "Go out quickly into the streets and alleys of the city, and bring in here the poor, maimed, blind, and lame." "Master," the servant said, "what you ordered has been done, and there's still room." Then the master told the servant, "Go out into the highways and hedges and make them come in, so that my house may be filled. For I tell you, not one of those people who are invited will enjoy my banquet." And the point of this parable is, Jesus is calling out to many people. It's very reminiscent of in Luke. This is a parable, but it's very reminiscent to Luke chapter 9, where he literally is, there are people he's asking to come follow him, and they say, "Oh, I can. I've got to go bury my father. I've got to go say goodbye to my family first. Or I have, this pair of oxen." And whether it was real situations like in Luke 9 or, metaphorical ones in this parable in Luke 14, I think the point being is that there isn't an excuse, quite frankly, that measures up or that's good enough for us to say, "No, Jesus, I'm not going to follow you now." Or, "God, what you're calling me or asking me to do, this thing that I'm doing right now is more important." Right. And so, really just wanted to sort of challenge us this Monday. What excuses are you, or what excuses am I making in my walk with Jesus? Or for those of you that aren't Jesus followers, what excuses are you making in terms of why you haven't made that decision? I assure you, there is no excuse that is good or valid enough. What Jesus is offering is a place at the king's table. What Jesus is offering is life to the full. What Jesus is offering is true purpose and mission in life. And there's nothing greater than that. And so, just want to encourage us today. Let's put the excuses aside and follow Jesus with all of our hearts. Have a great Monday, Cornerstone. We love you.